Welcome in, folks. I hope you guys have had a wonderful, long 3-day weekend. It is Labor Day. And my friend Pete from over at Damn Yankee, he's been doing a lot of labor getting all of these scents ready. He is launching 5 scents, 5 new scents, and they are great. There's something for everybody. You like traditional fall scents, you got it. You like something a little more earthy, not sweet, you got that as well. And I can't wait for you guys to hear all about it. And we're going to do that by bringing on my longtime friend here, Mr. Pete, Mr. Yankee himself. Everybody say
Howdy,
welcome to
howdy.
Pete.
How's it going?
Good.
How's it
How are
going?
you?
Doing good. Just it's that time of year again. It's beard season again, and I'm trying to get into the spirit, but it's still in the 90s here, so it's a little hard to feel fall vibes when you're just sweating and out in the sun. But we do the best we can.
Yeah, we had one little break of about 3 or 4 days where the humidity broke, and it was nice. We're
Yeah.
out of the 90s now. We're in the 80s,
Mm.
but it's really humid. So I can't wait for that next little
Yeah.
break of humidity to get back into the 50s at night. That'll be cool.
Well,
Got a
you're
lot of good
far enough
folks in here.
inland. You don't get any breeze or anything from the coast, do you? You're too
No, no,
far
no,
inland.
no. I'm too far inland. Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm about 3 hours from the
Oh
water.
wow. Okay.
Yeah,
All right. Fair enough.
and 3 hours from the mountain. So it's halfway in between. We're in the Piedmont of North Carolina, is what it's called.
Ah,
All right, we're up to got a good crowd in here. We got about 29 folks in
nice.
here. So they have come out to hear all about these scents, and we're going to get started with it in just a minute. Let
Yeah.
you know everything. By the way, my affiliate code is Banjo15, can save you 15% on your order. So we'll have that going across the bottom as well. And then Pete, you think it's $35 for free shipping? Qualify?
I believe it is, and if it's not, don't catch me lying. If it's not $35, I'll change it after the stream, just so I can look like I was right.
Yeah, so that would be after you use the Banjo 15 code. If your subtotal is $35 or more before you add on tax and all that stuff, that should qualify you for free shipping if it's set up correctly. If not, let Pete know and he'll get that worked out.
I've got lots of like little trinkety impulse items too. So like if you get close, grab a keychain or grab a bumper sticker or something, and put it over the top.
I would recommend to grab a bar of soap because Pete's
Ah,
soap
there you
is
go.
really good. We'll get into all of that. We'll go over the highlights of everything. But let's go ahead and get into these scents. Pete, which one do you want to start with?
Oh, geez, I don't know. I guess let's start with our newest addition to Carnival of Souls,
All right, so
which is Midway.
Carnival of Souls.
Mhm.
So far for Carnival of Souls, you had kettle corn, and these are still available. The kettle corn
Oh yeah.
surprise hit for me. I did not think I would like it, but there's something about the sweet and salty vibe that goes
Mhm.
perfect together, and it's not too overly popcorn for some reason. It just works really well.
Yeah.
That was a big huge hit for me. And then churros, if you like the sweet cinnamon sugar kind of scent, and now we
Mhm.
are adding to it Midway, and Midway is the best caramel apple scent I have ever smelled for me. I like apple scents. I tend to like those better than like pumpkin spice with the too spicy. This is not spicy at all. So for me, I get you get the apple off the bat. So it's like kind of a reverse caramel apple. You open it up, put it in your beard, warm it up. You get the apple, fresh apple. Pete really prides himself on making things as authentic and does not smell overly fragrancy or fake. So this is very authentic. You get the apple first, and then right after that, the caramel warms up and kind of takes over and the kind of switch places. So it's like a reverse caramel apple to me, and it is super duper good. And Pete
Right.
is very, very creative. I don't know if you've seen the Carnival of Souls, but he's like antiqued the top here to make it look like it's rusted, but the bottom's not rusted. It's the inside's perfect on that.
Yeah. No, I had the idea for Carnival of Souls. We released it originally a year ago, and I had an idea in my head because we're not the first beard company to do like a creepy carnival or creepy circus vibe. I mean, every Halloween, some beard company comes out with some creepy circus thing, and but I wanted to make it creepy in a lot more subtle way, like it, not in a not in a B movie kind of way, but more of like a historical thriller kind of way, if that makes sense. Like,
Hmm.
so all the imagery that I've used with Carnival of Souls is all super old black and white imagery. Just creeps me the hell out. I don't know, maybe I'm not the only one, but and the music that I put forth with it, I didn't write it, but I put it together, and the music's kind of creepy if you go back and listen to the promos. And but the idea originally with Carnival of Souls was that I wanted the packaging to look like it had sat on a shelf for like 100 years. So I want it to look old. So that's why we've got the rusted caps. And if you get the butter, the tins themselves are rusted as well.
I might have
I
to get a
post pictures.
butter. I haven't had a butter in that series yet, so that'd be
Yeah,
cool.
what I post pictures of them every now and
Yeah.
then, and it's a little bit of a labor intensive process, but I think they really turn out cool. Um, so I was just Carnival of Souls has always been a permanent collection. It's always going to be around, even though it seems like it's seasonal. It's available year round, and I knew that I wanted to add a scent to it, but I wasn't sure what to do. And there we go. Yeah. So there's a process that I do on those tins. The tins are brand new, and when you open them up, you can see that the inside is pristine. But I do a process on the outside that makes them look old. Um, so anyway, so Midway is the only real twist that I did with Midway is that, like you noted, I mean, it's caramel forwards, right? So it's not a face punch of apple immediately. It's a lot more caramel forward, which to me is a lot more realistic than just like a super strong out of the box apple that just takes everything over. So
Yeah, I would agree with that. Super good, super authentic.
thank
Yeah,
you.
and most of these scents are pretty dynamic. And you know, you read it and it only says like two or three things on the profile, but a lot of them it does change throughout the day or after the first 30 minutes it'll kind of migrate. So I know you've done a lot of studying about top notes, middle notes, bottom notes, all that kind of stuff. I know you've
Yeah.
done quite a bit of that over your years of experience.
Yeah, it's the dry down the same way you would get with a cologne or perfume. It's just some things. Well, the nerdy science part of it is that some scent molecules are smaller and evaporate faster. So top notes like citrus and peppermint and different things, the molecules themselves are actually smaller, so they evaporate and they go away faster. The larger molecules are your base notes, like patchoulis and woods, and oh man, I'm trying to think what else. Ambers and musks, things like that, tend to be what you smell throughout the rest of the day.
That's cool. I knew, top notes, bottom notes, middle notes, kind of what falls into those categories. I didn't realize the molecules were bigger. That's why they hold
Yeah,
around longer. That is very cool. So we
that's
nerded
really
out.
that's yeah, that's really all it is. That just the smaller ones evaporate faster, and so they go away quicker.
So I tell you what, guys, let's talk really quickly here about the prices, and then maybe we'll do another scent, and then we'll talk about the carrier oils and all that kind of stuff. So
Oh yeah,
prices, we've got you can get a sample of one of these if you're not sure you want to try it, or you're really close to that $35 mark. Try a sample of some other scents. That'd be another way to get there as
yeah.
well. Your oil blends, there's two different oil blends. You've got your regular oil blend for $16.99, and then $1 more for the sterling line. So that would be $17.99. Is it a 2 ounce butter for $11.99? Is that right? That seems awful cheap.
Yeah, that's right. That's right.
Wow, 2 ounce butter for $11.99, guys. Plus you can save with the Banjo
Um,
15.
we also I started doing 4 ounce butters again. I
Okay.
stopped for a while, but we have quite a few customers that like 4 ounce butters better. So we're back to doing 4 ounce butters as well, and those are 17.99.
Okay, cool. And then it's a 1 ounce bomb, right? For
Yeah,
$9.99. So
exactly. And we made that change a couple of years ago, and it just seemed to me that I mean it just seems to me that you don't need that much product unless you really go through like a ton of butter. it would take me forever to go through 4 ounces of butter. And so I started making them smaller just in the hope that if I made it smaller and they're priced a little bit better, that it might, get guys turned on to, smaller, um, smaller packages.
Awesome. And then there's combos available, and there's other
Yep.
products and those kind of scents. So most of these scents, is it just oil, balm, butter? Is all you're making those in currently, or are you making some other
Um,
products in these scents?
lately I've been doing it in everything. So,
The wash
the
and conditioner and
yeah,
stuff.
the fall line is going to be available. I should say is available also in beard wash, co-wash. The funny thing was I I tried to outthink people a couple years ago where I was like, you know what? Like I don't know that I would want to wash my beard with caramel apple. And I just decided that it wasn't really up to me what was good and what wasn't. So I just started putting it all out there. And if somebody wants to condition their beard with something that smells like tiramisu, then and if that's your thing, then you do it.
Now I'm going to tell you, I would love to see a candle in the Midway.
Mm,
That would make an awesome fall candle with the caramel apple. That would be very cool.
yeah, I can give it a go.
I don't know how you need to figure out a way to antique and distress a candle holder. That would be cool.
Oh yeah,
As
that would
creative
be
as
it.
you are, you'd figure out a way to make
Send
that
somebody
work.
like send somebody like an oil lamp or something. I don't know.
Yeah.
Something that looks old.
All
Um,
right. So cool.
Yeah, the
Sorry I
candles are
didn't.
tricky. The candles are tricky because not all of the scents throw that well, and something else to consider too is that the beard scents are designed to go on your skin. So, as you noted earlier, they change they as they mix with your body chemistry. Candles don't do that, obviously. So, some of the candle scents do better than others. So I've tried to organize the candle scents in such a way that the ones that don't do that great aren't on there.
And Nicholas Z had a question earlier about
Yeah.
the oil holder, the little cardboard tubes. Does that come with every oil, or just the Sterling blend, or just the
That is just
seasonals?
Sterling. Yeah, that's just Sterling blend. I wanted to have a way to distinguish. Well, you and I released Sterling together, didn't we?
Yes, sir. We did. We've done a lot of
Yeah.
releases, Pete, over the years.
I wanted to have a way to visually distinguish Sterling from the other blend, the original blend. So we did two things. We put it in the tube, and then secondly, you'll notice that the dropper on the Sterling line has a silver collar around it that Brian's showing. Whereas the originals are either going to have a black dropper or a white dropper. So and it'll also say on the label, if you look above the ingredients, it'll say Sterling right above that. But so we just wanted a way to distinguish. And to be honest with you, nobody else was doing it at the time. So that was kind of a win for me. I was like, okay, here's something that makes me look different. So I was real fortunate to hook up with a supplier that normally those tubes are made for, like deodorant, that kind of thing. But they work really well for what we're doing.
Cool. And we'll talk a little bit more about the difference in those two blends in just a second. But let's talk about another
Yeah.
one of these scents first. Which one do you want to go over next?
Um, probably the one. Let's talk about the one that surprised me the most. And I've been developing fall scents now for a couple of months, and um, I ran across a blend that I made by accident. Well, there's that one. Look, there's that one for sure. Um,
Which one are we going
yeah.
with? Just
Oh, I
two.
was going to talk about
All
tiramisu.
right, cool.
So
Let's do it.
yeah, so I kind of made that one by accident, and because coffee scents, I don't know, maybe other companies are different, but the coffee scents generally don't do great for us. Um, but I had a really nice vanilla tonka fragrance that was really warm and really sweet, and I thought, coffee would go great with that. And I wasn't thinking tiramisu at the time, but I smelled it and I was like, that smells exactly like a tiramisu. And the funny thing was, normally my normal process is trial and error for a few weeks as I'm getting the proportions right. And this is the only one that I think I've ever made in 4 years of doing this where my first shot at doing it was the version that I wound up using.
Wow. It
Yeah,
smells
normally.
just like tiramisu, guys. Just
So,
like it.
so if if you like tiramisu, it's not super coffee forward.
No.
So if you're not a coffee scent person, don't sweat that. It's kind of way off in the background. But the thing that makes it interesting is that so tonka bean is actually outlawed in the U.S. The FDA put the kibosh on that back in the 50s because if you consume too much tonka bean, it can give you liver damage.
Really?
Um, which is you have to consume like a ridiculous amount. So people all over the world put tonka in everything. They put it in ice cream and cheesecakes, everything. People all over the world love it, but we don't know it here because our government decided that they didn't want us eating too much of it and getting liver damage. So it's a smell that you probably won't smell a lot here because it's fortunately, this isn't real tonka bean; it's a fragrance, so you're not breaking the law by putting this on your face. But um, it's a smell that you don't get a lot here, just because it's technically not legal.
Yes. I did not know that. Pete, you're
Yeah.
dropping all kind of knowledge on us tonight.
Well, that's I'm here to make beard products and drop knowledge. What can I say?
Well, you're doing
But
a great
so
job.
that one for me, I think has been my favorite so far this season. And I like I said, I've never had a final version be like the first version that I made out of the box. But for some reason, this one just came together, and I've been really, really happy with it. I hope people like it. So,
I don't see how you can make some of these scents. You would think they would smell more fake. And I
mm,
know that's just something that you've always done, but it just surprises me every time you have something like that where sometimes for other companies you smell it and it just smells fake. It smells like a fragrance. This doesn't.
yeah.
This smells really like a tiramisu, guys.
Well, I mean, I get plenty of those too. I mean, for every one scent that makes the final cut, there's probably 15 to 20 that just get thrown out. And yeah, I've had plenty of that have smelled super fragrancy or super candly, or Mima perfume. I've had plenty of those, and
Yeah, we tried some of that with a collab one time, right? You were like, every time you tried that scent, it smells like grandma's closet.
yeah, yeah. That's to this day, I have yet to release a peach fragrance, just because I can't find one that doesn't smell like an old lady.
We're going to have to try
What do you
something
think?
else sometime. We'll go a totally different direction.
Right? Well, yeah,
We can do it.
yeah. Well, as a matter of fact, the black tea that's in 50 Shades was the one that I originally bought for what was going to be our collab. Um, and I wound up shelving it just because I couldn't get it to work. And I brought it back out a couple months ago and mixed it with some bergamot to do like an Earl Grey thing.
Well, let's go ahead and talk
And
about that because if you
yeah,
want something that is not sweet, not fruity and foody and all that stuff, you want to try this 50 Shades of Earl Grey, which is black tea and bergamot.
mm, yeah, and again, that's a combination that's not groundbreaking by any means. I mean, this is a tea blend that's been around for probably hundreds and hundreds of years, but uh, this one has a little bit of complexity to it. There's some other stuff going on. There are notes of cedar in there. There are notes of amber and musk in there as well, that keep it from being just a straight, Earl Grey tea scent. Um, I wore that one a couple times while I was working on it, and I dig it in beard. I mean, it smells pretty good out of the bottle, but once it's in beard, I liked it a lot.
Yeah, for me, it smells a whole lot different in the beard, and once again it changes. This
Mm,
is the one that I'm not 100% sure I like. I need to wear it again. I just have gotten these recently and had a chance to throw all of them in for at least a couple hours, trying to get them all in. I think I got these on Thursday. This one I'm not sure about. I need to wear it again. Smelling it out
yeah,
of the bottle, I get there's something there that smells a little like menthol. I get like a little bit of a menthol vibe to it. And then
Mm.
you put it in which I like because I like, those kind of scents. Put it in my beard and that part goes away. And then for like 30 minutes or so, I don't like it. And then once that wears off, it kind of smooths out. And then I like it after that. So I don't know
Yeah,
what's going on in that. I need to try that again. That's just my first
yeah.
round of trying it.
Well, we'll see. It's this is one of those things where and we've talked about this before. I mean, it's hard to know how a scent's going to do until you put it out there. So that's one of the reasons we do kind of weird stuff every now and then. It's just because you never know, what people are going to like and what they're not. So we'll see how this one does. I mean, to me, it's different. I wouldn't necessarily think of it in a fall context, but somehow it still kind of works for me. So I don't know.
Yeah,
We'll
I definitely think it's got a fall vibe to it or cold, cool weather when you're drinking a warm tea.
um, and then I mean the name was kind of a no brainer. It just made me laugh. But so that's kind of there's nothing complicated about the name of it. It just kind of
Now, how did you think did the name come first or did the scent come first?
actually that tea fragrance I'd actually shelved and I wasn't going to use it because I didn't really have a place for it. And then I don't know if I heard something or saw something while I was working one day, and it made me think of the name and it made me laugh. So I just kind of revitalized the idea, and so we'll see. We'll see what people think. I mean, I think if you're a tea person, not necessarily like an iced tea person, but like a hot tea person, this may be your thing.
Yeah, I would agree with you. Andrew says you got to bring back the studio.
Well, those were. Okay, I'll say this. I'll say this about Studio. Studio is one of the most unique things we've ever done. I'm not saying it's the best thing we've ever done. I think I sold like four of those, and that was about it. But that's you learn things doing this over the years, and the lesson I learned from Studio was that it can't be too conceptual, right? I mean, there has to be something to grab onto, right? So
Yeah,
yeah,
well, to say that was the most unique thing, you've done some very unique things, and you're not afraid to do that. You're not afraid to put that stuff out,
yeah.
which good on you. And we'll talk about some other stuff that you have here coming up. Let's talk real quick about the two different oil blends, just in case you've never tried Damn
Okay.
Yankee or it's been a while since you've tried them.
Yeah.
So the Carrier blend, the original Carrier blend has jojoba, fractionated coconut, sweet almond, argan, and broccoli seed, and that works exceptionally well. For me, I think most guys would agree with that. Um, you changed that a little bit, like when you started adding in broccoli seed, right? You added that to the original oil.
Yeah, I mean, in fact, that's the only change that we've made. The original blend is exactly the same as the day we launched in 2018, except for the addition of broccoli seed oil, which came in, I want to say 2020, maybe. I don't remember,
If
but
that sounds right, was that when Sterling came out?
yes.
Yes,
Yeah,
around there.
it's,
The years run
it was
together.
funny.
Yeah, for me, the years are starting to run together, Pete. I know they're starting to run together
Well,
for you too.
we're not young men anymore, so my memories are fading like cataracts at this point. But so it's one of those things where when I started doing this, and I told this story a couple weeks ago when I was on with Ken, the bearded accountant, but I literally in at the end of 2017, I sat at my kitchen table and I Googled how to make beard oil. That's how Damn Yankee started. I literally with a Google search. And I went through like 8 or 10 different sites and I noticed that a lot of them were using the same oils. And so I was just like, okay, well, these must be what people use. And I just fiddled with it until I got to a combination that made some sense and seemed to work. And it's been, I mean, that was over 4 years ago, and it's been basically unchanged since then, except for the addition of that broccoli seed.
Yeah, so it works well. Let me know, guys. If you tried both blends, which one works best for you? So then we came out with I'm going to say you came out with the Sterling blend, but we were able to launch it here on the channel. and that is a little bit different. And that's got broccoli seed in it, but it got really juiced up with a lot more broccoli seed, if I remember correctly on that.
Yeah.
And then we've got argan, kukui nut, broccoli seed, and castor. I, I remembered it being really, I thought it was thicker, but you go back and look, it's not very thick at all, at least compared to some of the
No,
other oils I've used. It's pretty similar.
I know a lot of beard guys who are just, gaga over black castor oil. Um, the feel of it just weirds me out because it's kind of sticky, and
Mm-hmm.
I don't love it. So castor oil makes up about, if I did the math correctly, I think castor oil makes up about 6 or 7% of the volume of sterling. And you'll notice that a couple of the oils are the same between the two blends, notably argan oil and broccoli seed. The difference, like you said, is the proportion that you're getting. Whereas in the original blend, argan is just kind of a splash. There is I don't think I've done the math, but I mean, argan probably makes up somewhere around 30% of the volume of sterling. And argan, for my money, if I could only use one oil in my beard, that would probably be it. For me, argan oil is kind of the gold standard of just hair oil in general. Anyway, and then broccoli seed is in there as well, and then kukui nut, of course, which a lot of people are unfamiliar with. I was unfamiliar with it a couple of years ago. I can't tell you exactly. Look at that.
This is
Are those
kukui.
actual kukui
Yep,
nuts?
these are actual kukui nuts.
Did you get those? Did you get those in Hawaii?
I did. I got those in Hawaii. It was at our luau. It's pretty cool.
Nice.
I knew I was going
Oh,
to show that to you tonight.
that's fantastic. I've never actually seen those. That's cool.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, no, I had no idea, and I still don't know that I can explain what kukui nut does, other than each of these oils offers a little bit something different in terms of um, um, what's the word I'm looking for? Acids. They
Fatty
they
acids.
offer, what's that?
Fatty acids.
Yeah, exactly. That's the word I'm looking for. Thank you.
Yep.
They offer something a little bit different in terms of fatty acids, and they all have a long scientific name, but each of them brings something a little bit different to the table, which is kind of what I was going for.
Yeah, and I've seen a lot of guys saying how much they like the Sterling blend and works for them. So E asked about, he likes cologne scents. He does not like food inspired scents. So there is a Sterling scent, which is originally what that's all there was going to be, was Sterling scent in the
Yeah,
Sterling blend. And it's a cologne. It's pretty safe for a damn Yankee scent, that's for sure. It's pretty safe kind of cologne
yeah.
scent. But there's some other choices here that I think you like. I think he likes the tobacco scents and that kind of stuff. He's got Paw Paw's chair. So yeah, Cavendish is a really good scent. And then you might like the new Spirit Guide here. You want to talk about that one, Pete? A little Spirit Guide?
Oh, yeah.
You've been teasing me on
So,
Spirit Guide for a year now. Like, I
yeah.
got this, I'm going to do another tobacco scent. I didn't want to do it, but it just, I don't know if it fell into your lap or you had the, a magical accident that happened in the lab, and all of a sudden now we have Spirit Guide.
It was kind of a magical accident. No, and it's true. I've taken on this moniker of being the tobacco scent guy, and I'm grateful for it, because I'd rather be that than the guy that makes stuff that smells awful. But I didn't want to be just that. I wanted to do some other things too, and so that's kind of the reason I said, like, a year and a half ago, that I've got like 4 or 5 cologne tobacco scents that I feel pretty solid about, that have a long track record of doing well for guys. So I'm like, you know what, I'm good. But I never say never in this business. So I said, look, if something comes along that's great and different than what I already have, then so be it. And that's what this is. And it started with the same company that makes the cannabis fragrance for Hippie Hollow makes a Palo Santo fragrance, and I just bought it on a whim. about a year and a half ago because I was just looking at new scents, and um, Palo Santo is amazing. I can't afford the essential oil, um, but because it's super expensive. But if you get some time to read about Palo Santo, how it's harvested and how it's used, it's really kind of fascinating. And but it smells amazing. It's kind of a resinous wood, a little bit like oud maybe. It's got that. It's not really a pine smell, or it's almost like a resin smell. Um, and I was like, man, that's really amazing. And I mean, you know that I've released a lot of sage scents in the last
Hmm.
couple of years. I love sage. And then of course the tobacco I use in this. The way I've used tobacco in a couple of other scents is just kind of to round things out. And I don't know that you can necessarily pick up on the tobacco super strong in this scent, but it's in there mostly just to kind of round things out a little bit. Um, but the interesting thing is that all three of these elements, the Palo Santo, tobacco, and sage, all have ceremonial uses for certain cultures. So that's kind of where the idea for Spirit Guide came in. And the origins of it were a long time ago. So New Mexico is kind of one of my happy places. If you've ever been out in the area, kind of northeast of Santa Fe, out of the desert, it's one of those places that just feels kind of spiritual. And that's kind of where this came from. But what do you think? I've been teasing you for a year.
It's really good. It's hard to explain because you think Palo Santo, and sometimes it's mixed with like other things that makes it smell like churchy and incense and that kind of stuff. So I don't really get incense on it. Um, I definitely get kind of the wood, almost like it's similar to a cedar in that it's got a bite to it. It's like like a dry wood kind of
Mhm.
scent, and then you got the sage and the tobacco to give it a little bit more layers to it. It's not overly spicy, but I don't know. It's hard to explain. Um,
Yeah.
it's definitely a fall cool weather scent. Smells like a dry wood mixed with some spices, but not
Mhm.
spicy in a cinnamon way or a food way, anything like that.
Yeah. The interesting thing about the people that harvest natural Palo Santo in Central and South America is they don't remove anything from the living tree. Everything that they harvest is either from a dead tree or something that's fallen down to the ground. So there's a certain level of respect there for the tree itself that they don't take anything off of a living tree.
Yeah, they did the same thing when I was in Hawaii. I bought a ukulele made out of koa wood, and koa
Mhm.
wood's like that too. They can only harvest it once the tree's fallen. That's
Right.
kind of interesting.
That is cool.
All right, so Cam said that he was the one, Spirit Guy's the one he wants to try the most. Well, it is now available. You guys can check that out. And we got one more scent, and then we can kind of go over the website and all your other scents and products
Oh
that
yeah.
are available. But you brought back a oldie but a goodie. This reminds
Yeah.
me, was it three years ago or 2 years?
It
I
was
think it was
yeah, it was
three.
3 years ago. Yeah,
3 years
2019.
ago, um, Pete came out with his fall line, had 4 scents on it, and I like all 4 scents. I do think I like this one the most. And I have a feeling if back in the day you were saying, hey, if this is a good seller, you'd keep it around longer, except it's got pumpkin in it. So it's kind of, pigeonholed itself into being a
Yeah.
fall scent. But you've got Bountiful, which is pipe tobacco and autumn spices. And it takes on a
It,
totally different vibe when you have the pipe tobacco in it. So pipe tobacco is usually not spicy, right? The what you use in the Cavendish or the cedar tobacco to vanilla is not spicy, but when you put the autumn spice with it, sort of in the same way like a cigar tobacco has more spice
mm,
to it. You get more spice, but it's coming from the autumn spice, like the pumpkin and the autumn spices go with it, and they just play so well together. So
yeah.
if you're not exactly a pumpkin spice person, this is one to try with the tobacco in it. Takes on a whole
Yeah.
different depth to it, in my opinion. Sorry,
You
go
know,
ahead,
we've
Pete.
never. No, it's fine. It's fine. We've never re-released a scent. I never have, just because, I kind of like to not look back too much on it. But ever since 2019, this is the one that was never quite 100% out of my mind. I still had a little bit of it in the bathroom where I keep all my, oils and stuff, and I used it from time to time, and every time I did, I was like, man, I forgot how good that is. And
That's
so I was
one
like,
that
you
you'll
know what?
crave. If it's good enough for you to crave it, as much stuff as you test and go through, and I'm the same way. This is one that I will crave. I don't have it anymore because it's 3 years old, but now I got a
Right? Yeah,
brand new one, so I'm excited.
yeah. Well, and this is just the one that I can never quite get out of my mind. So we went in and I broke my own rules and re-released an old set. And I look at it this way. If, for those folks who were not around with me in 2019, this will be new to them. So um,
Well, I've had several
you know,
people message me about it, including Russ, and I saw Western Ram said. I mean, a lot of people said they were excited about this one,
oh,
so
nice.
that's
Yeah.
cool.
So, hopefully, on the whole, these 4 cents, hopefully as a collection, they make some sense, and that they can, hopefully there's something, like you said earlier, hopefully there's something in there for everybody.
I think there is something for everybody. From the tea scent to the spirit guide, which are more on the savory side, and then you've got the sweeter stuff and the more traditional choices for fall, kind of mixed in there with this
Yeah.
the old the damn Yankee spin that you like to put on stuff. So very cool.
Yeah. Nothing's ever quite 100% normal around here, but
Well, that's the way we like it. That's the way we like it.
sure.
That's
Absolutely.
what we're used to.
Absolutely.
So let's take a look at the website and we can talk about the other products and scents that you have. What happened to my, I don't know why that got messed up.
Probably worth noting as well, there at the bottom of the autumn collection is the sampler, which is a 2 dram vial of each of the 4 scents. In other words, it's 4 2 dram vials, one of each scent. So, and they are in original blend. I may go in and make a Sterling uh, sample pack also here maybe tonight. Um, but so this is a 2 dram vial of each of the 4 scents, just so there's no confusion on that. So
Awesome. So you can get all 4 in a sample.
yes, sir.
Oh, you should make a Carnival of Souls sample now that you have 3 cents for it. Oh, you do
Yeah, I
have
went
one.
in. Yeah, I went in and adjusted that one a little bit earlier.
Cool.
So the sampler for Carnival of Souls is going to be 3 2 dram vials: one kettle corn, one churros, and of course one Midway. So and I tried to price them in such a way that I don't get a chance to buy a lot of other companies' stuff now as much as I would like to, just because most of my money goes back into Damn Yankee stuff. But one of the things that always bugged me about buying from other companies was just that uh, if you buy like 1 ounce of oils, and there's no way, obviously, no way to smell it ahead of time. So if you don't like it, then you're stuck with an ounce of it, and you either give it to somebody else or just wind up pitching it. So I wanted to do a thing where you could buy and try all these samples without necessarily breaking the bank, and so hopefully that's working well for people.
Nice. Nicholas Z said he just placed his order. Let us know what you
Nice.
got. Let us know what you got. Very cool here. So let's see what else we have here. So we had all of the stuff that we released tonight, and then
Mhm.
your original scents here, right? So pipe bomb
Yep.
still your top selling scent of all time. Is that correct?
Actually, no. If I had to say so right now, I think probably cedar tobacco, vanilla, and Cavendish.
Oh wow.
Yeah. Oh, I should mention as well, now that you're down in that section, there was, kind of a question as to whether we were going to keep Texan AF and Viking AF around. And I've decided to put those in the permanent lineup. So Texan AF and Viking AF are members of the family now.
Awesome. I have not tried those, so that'd be cool. Yeah, and cedar tobacco vanilla. E, if you're still in here, if you have not tried that one, that is an awesome scent. It's still in my top 5 of all time scents I've ever used. And there's something about that tobacco and the cedar. They just hit just perfect on there. Anything that Pete puts out that's got tobacco or cedar, I usually love. So then you have your Cuban tobacco, with your Panama there with my
Yeah.
friend Scott. You did that. So that's got a little bit more of the spicy on it with the Cuban tobacco. It's got a little spice to it.
Yeah, that does have a little bit of a different vibe.
And then you talked about your Cavendish, which has got your pipe tobacco and dried fruits. I like the fact that you just got all the stuff just listed on here. You don't have to click on a bunch of stuff to see what all of the profiles are. So that's very cool.
Yeah, that was the idea behind just putting the profile right on the picture, was so that you didn't necessarily have to open it to find out what the profile was. So in other words, if you don't like pipe tobacco or you don't like leather, you can just skip over Papa's chair and go to the next one without even having to open it. So.
And the more I'm reading these, the more I'm thinking, so many of these to me are like fall, cold weather scents with all the tobaccos and some of that stuff. I think that's,
Yeah. I thought about, and we just shut down the summer collection like a week and a half ago.
yeah.
And I talked to Mrs. Yankee about it a couple weeks ago. I was like, do we want to do like an endless summer thing? Do we want to keep a couple of summer scents around all year round? And I don't know. I'm still debating on it, because there was one from last summer that I really, really liked. And that was one called Painkiller, that I'm thinking about making a year-round thing, but I haven't pulled the trigger on it yet.
Did I have that one? What was the profile on that one?
That one was pineapple, orange, lime, and rum.
Okay. I can't remember if I had that one or not. It doesn't sound familiar. You had one of those pineapple and cilantro or something. That one was pretty good.
Yeah, that was a year ago. That was Pura Vida, which was pineapple, cilantro, ginger, and coconut. But yeah, you're right. I mean, a lot of the core scents that we do could be considered cold weather scents. But I don't know. I think that's probably just why we do seasonal stuff, is just so that every summer I can make stuff that's fruity or lighter, and just kind of do it that way.
What's Aldemir say here? You smelled a pipe tobacco from Sutliff, a mixture of honey, custard, and Cavendish. That smells on. There you go. There's your idea. Honey
Oh man, okay.
Is it honey mustard or honey custard?
I hope it's honey custard, because I don't know that I want to smell honey mustard in tobacco. Okay.
That sounds good.
Yeah, no, I will have to look that up, because that sounds like an interesting thing. I don't know that I'm clamoring to make like another tobacco scent, but again, like I said earlier, I try to never say never.
No, and you've already got the base fragrances that work, right? You got the good stuff to work with. It makes a big difference.
Yeah.
So Pawpaw's chair I know is a favorite, because I saw Andrew say leather, because
Right.
he loves him some leather. And pipe tobacco. Look, is tobacco this, tobacco that, tobacco bay leaf? Barbershop is a different barbershop. This one is old school shaving cream. Smells like
Yeah.
shaving cream, so not talcum powder scent. So I actually like that. It's a nice change.
If you're old enough to remember Barbasol, our version of barbershop to me smells exactly like Barbasol shaving cream.
Yep, I would agree with that. You got your tobacco bay leaf, your orange and black pepper, which has got a nice history that goes along with that. You want to mention that?
Yeah. Yeah, and that is actually the Port Isabel Lighthouse on the label there.
Very nice. I know Russ Young's favorite is the Pipe Dream, which is your pipe tobacco, orange and vanilla.
I'm reading where it says new, and I think I probably need to change that, because I released that like 2 years ago. So I think I probably need to take that down. But
in the big scheme of things, it's still new.
Well, there you go. I had a guy email me one time. This is about a year and a half, 2 years ago. That was really upset with me that I'd put a guy on the Pipe Dream label that didn't have a beard.
Oh.
And it's like, you know what? Honestly, I didn't even think about it. I just saw a guy. I like that style of art, that kind of pop art from the 50s.
From the 50s, yeah.
And
that's like Ward Cleaver or something there.
Yeah, exactly. That was the whole vibe I had in my head, was the Ward Cleaver at the end of the day with his robe and his slippers and his pipe, and Anyway, but that made me laugh. They didn't have a beard. It's like, it's just a label, man. It's just a label.
I know one of your favorites there, your hippie hollow with your peppermint and
Yeah.
cannabis is a different kind of scent. It's not my thing for sure.
Yeah, it's I knew this was going to be divisive when we released it, and it's just one of those things that I will probably always leave it on the website, even if nobody buys it, just because I like it. So it it's just one of those things that it's a very Texas thing, right? Like, not that the smell of weed is exclusive to Texas, but like
No, no, it's
Hippie
not.
Hollow. And I've told this story a couple
Mm.
times, but Hippie Hollow is a state park outside of Austin that has the state of Texas's only clothing optional beach. And in the deep red state of Texas, you don't find a lot of that. So it just kind of makes me laugh. And it's been an institution around the Austin area for 50 years.
And I see the Texas AF on here. Oak Barrel Whiskey and Vanilla. That sounds great. I
Yeah.
don't see the other one on here. Maybe need to
Uh,
add it. It's on the
you know,
oils page, but I didn't see it here on like the first
oh,
page.
yeah, I'll have to go in and change
Just
that.
to let you know.
Yeah. Oh, well, no, that's good. I didn't notice that. I was making some changes to the website earlier, but
Yeah,
no.
I uploaded your website early. And it's like everything was like down. I was like, oh, Pete's working on this. I knew it.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
I knew what
Yeah,
you was
no,
doing.
Texan AF was formerly only available. Oh, there's Viking AF right there.
Yeah, I went to the
Um,
oils page, so I could do
Texan
that.
AF was formerly only available at True Barbershop in Taylor, Texas. My buddy Derek down there. That's Derek actually on Viking as fuck. I'm sorry, AF. That's him on the label. He does Viking cosplay, so
That's cool.
that's actually him on the label. Um, but so a lot of people that aren't around here might not know what the Texan AF label is, and it's a table tent from a Whataburger restaurant,
Mm.
and a lot of you guys don't have that. Um, they're starting to make headroads outside of Texas, but I was trying to think of the most Texas thing I could think of, and Whataburger was definitely one of those. Um,
I've heard of Whataburger,
Whataburger
but
is your
I didn't know it
joint.
was a Texas thing.
Oh yeah, well, I went. We were in Alabama in June, and they're getting them in Alabama too, which is kind of upsetting. But no offense to Alabamans, Bamians, but Whataburger is kind of your place where you go after you've been out of the club, and it's like 2:30 in the morning, and you've got a couple cocktails in you, and you just want to kind of grab some cheap fast food before you head home. That's Whataburger.
Gotcha.
So
Around here, it's IHOP and Denny's and
there you go.
Waffle House. The Waffle House stays open all night.
Viking AF is one of the very few leather scents that we've done. I think it's only the third. No, it's the fourth one. And it's cedar, sea salt, and leather.
Sounds pretty good.
And it's a really interesting combo, and if you balance it right, um, it's pretty interesting. And so I did it originally for there's a Viking festival outside of Austin, Texas, and I did it with my buddy Derek originally to sell at the at Viking Fest.
And guys, I want to make sure that you don't skip over the soap, the organic body bar is $6.29. And how many cents do you have in that? One, two,
I
three,
think there's
four.
five now.
There's six.
Oh, okay.
I see six. You just got your straight peppermint, your black tea tree, which I think I had the black tea tree. I really enjoyed that. The blood orange bergamot looks really good. Lemongrass, desert sage, and patchouli, which I know I would not like the patchouli or the lemongrass. Is not my thing, but the rest of those sound pretty good. And I know I've
Yeah.
had the black tea tree worked exceptionally well. So if you're into the soaps like that, handmade soaps, make sure you throw that in your cart.
Yeah, and it's honest to goodness soap. It's potassium hydroxide, so it's legit soap. So keep it away from your eyes and nose and any other sensitive areas because it will get your attention.
So I went to body care, and then the hippie hollow popped up here. I don't know if that's supposed to
Yeah,
be
you
there
know
or
what?
not.
Yeah, no, it's not. I made some changes while I was putting the fall collection up, and obviously kind of boogered some of that up because that's not supposed to be there. But I'll go in and fix all that.
No worries. I
You
just
know,
thought I'd let you know while we're
yeah, no,
looking
yeah,
at
I'm
it.
seeing it too. I'll have to go in and fix that. But
And then you still have your body washes?
I do, and they're I'm keeping them up there just because I'm trying to keep hope alive, but they are not doing well. The thing, and I think it's just probably a perception thing, right? Like people, the sense that I get is people don't think of us for soaps, but th- these are it's 100% natural Castile soap. The Probably the question I get most is, can I use it in beard? And my answer is yes, but don't use it a lot. Castile, the pH is a little high. So yes, you can use it on your beard, but don't make it a regular thing, and definitely co-wash after you do. Now your skin likes it a lot more though. The pH is perfect for skin. And there's 4 scents. Each scent is 100% essential oils. So these soaps are quite literally about as natural as you can possibly get. And I think I sent you all four, did I not?
You did. My favorite is the Awakenate, which is bergamot, ginger, and nutmeg.
Mhm.
And Pete likes having fun making up names of stuff. Like he created Invigorize, Relaxify, Serenitize, and Awakenate.
Yeah, just trying to make my own parts of speech. I don't know. This
Mhm.
cracks me up. But yeah, so I mean, if you are looking for like a natural alternative to commercial soap, definitely check it out. The thing I will tell you, and I get this question a lot too, if you do buy them, just be aware that Castile soap really does not lather.
Mm-mm.
So you probably need to use like a loofah or a sponge or something like that to get any kind of lather going, because natural Castile soap doesn't really lather.
Let me know in the comments, guys. Are you bar soap people or are you the body wash? I am team bar soap for me.
Yep.
And then you've
Sure.
got here are your washes and conditioner stuff. So you've got Iron Lion and Eraser, and then a
Mhm.
co-conditioner is in Port Isabel. But you got other scents, right? You can get in conditioner.
Ye-
How do you
Yeah, I
get
mean,
to those?
I probably need to go in and update that as
Okay.
well, because pretty much anything, any scent that we put out, I can do as a conditioner, as a co-wash. So and that's probably a good note. Just in general, if you don't see it on the website, just DM me through Instagram or shoot me an email. And I try to make myself, pretty available. So if you don't see it on the website, just let me know. There's a good chance that I'll be able to do it. So
Yeah, that's a good thing about working with the smaller companies is they
yeah,
can do some things special for you. So if you have any questions or special requests or anything like that, reach out to Pete. He'll
yeah,
try his best to accommodate. I know.
yeah.
So
And Ray,
$18.99 for the
yeah,
wash, and then $19.95 for the conditioner. And those are in
yeah.
8 ounces.
We don't sell a lot of eraser anymore, which is kind of a shame because the scent is one of those ones that I mean, I don't know. This has been a while since I've had hair on my head, but back in the day, I used to use this Paul Mitchell shampoo that was like a peppermint tea tree shampoo that just smelled amazing, and I've never been able to get that smell out of my head. So this is eraser is kind of my homage to that old school Paul Mitchell like tea tree peppermint smell.
I would love special request for the a uh, winter collection. Give me a peppermint and tea tree oil and butter. I love wearing that kind of scent at night, especially
Yeah,
for a butter.
absolutely.
And I know
Yeah,
it's a plain thing, but that's I'm kind of a plain person when it comes to that nighttime stuff. I love a good tea tree
yeah.
mint kind of scent.
Nothing wrong with that. In fact, you know, now's generally the time that I start thinking about winter stuff. So um, we'll see. I'm not there yet, but I've got some ideas floating around. So generally, we release winter stuff around Thanksgiving or so. So look for that here in, I don't know, the next couple of months.
All right. So Russ wants me to show the hat. I'm going to show the hat for Russ here. It is a nice looking trucker hat here. You got the keychain and the orange black pepper seasoning. There's the trucker hat. Sold out, it says.
Yeah, I think we just got rid of the last one of those not too long ago. Um, yeah, merch is one of those things that I struggle with because, I see a lot of companies that have like, 10 different t-shirt designs and, 5 different hat designs. And I want to be that company, but it's just getting all of that made is incredibly expensive, or at least it has been for me. And so we're a pretty small operation. I think a lot of people know, that we're a pretty small outfit. So at this point, most of the money that we bring in is going back into raw materials. But hopefully we'll get to the point one of these days where we'll be able to put some more stuff back up there.
It seems like some companies, they just like have whatever company they work with to do their merch. They just like have their logo and stuff on file, and like they just, somebody orders one, they just make it there and they drop ship it to them.
Yeah, you definitely can. There's some more options now than there used to be.
You don't have to buy a whole big run of them and hold on to them for a year trying
Yeah,
to sell your 50 hats or whatever.
yeah. Russ does have a signed one. I forgot about that. But
Oh, special.
yeah, no, I feel like a rock star. I'm just a regular guy. Nobody knows who I am. But I'll sign your hat for you.
Sign
But
it. Let us know if you have any final questions here. We'll get off of here in just a minute. We got 5 brand new scents. We went over those. They're all available in oil and butter and balm and wash and conditioner, if I remember correctly.
Yep, and as in years past, these generally stay around through the end of the year or so. It's gonna be dependent a little bit on how well they're doing, but I would say maybe sometime in December these will probably go away. But if fall scents are your thing, I mean, I'm a fall guy, so this is kind of my Super Bowl this time of year. But if you're a fall scent person, give them a try. If you're not sure about some of the profiles, get the sampler. It's like $14, less than $14 to try all 4 of those, and see what you think, and find a favorite, and give us a shot. See what you think.
Andrew's asking me a tough question here. Top 5 damn Yankee scents of all time. Okay, I'll try. Cedar tobacco vanilla, number 1. Then I'm probably going to go with a lot of the seasonal scents. Bountiful would be on the list. Midway from the Carnival of Souls would be on the list. Kettle corn from Carnival of Souls would be on the list. And then I think I would go with, was it Thankful from that year that was in the red?
Yeah. Thankful was also 2019, the same original collection as Bountiful, and Thankful was cranberry, orange, and cinnamon.
Yeah.
Which is a profile, if I remember right. I think I ripped it from Young Living, but so yeah, that was 2019 also. So that was a good year. The funny thing is, just overall, the collection we did a year ago, the back to school collection, is far and away our best selling collection we've ever done. Like nothing has even remotely come close. It was this time of year last year was an absolute insanity. It just kept getting bigger and bigger, and I'm like, okay, this has got to stop at some point. And I think it finally wound down like around mid-October. And so if you bought in last year to the back to school collection, thank you so much. And I had some requests to re-release it, and I may at some point. We shall see. But
Yeah,
that was those were
I like these scents this year better than last year's scents.
oh
Obviously,
good.
last year had a good theme to it. I think you can add
Yeah,
on to that theme really easily. You could, go back and come up with more to match the wizarding theme.
that's true. And in fact, we're going back. We're going back to Universal in November. So I think like Thanksgiving week, the whole family's going back to Harry Potter Land in Orlando. So we're gonna go do it again. It's our I think third or fourth year in a row to go back. So it's kind of becoming our holiday tradition now. So
Nice. I might have to give you some ideas for that. I know you've got plenty, but
oh yeah.
I've read lots of wizarding books, multiple times, and watched lots of wizarding movies quite a bit. So
Do I need like a Dobby scent that smells like a dirty sock?
there you go. You got your dirty sock. You got to have something from the Weasley kitchen or something. I don't know.
Oh yeah, of course, of course.
We'll figure it
But
out.
so anyway, so yeah, I mean, so this is the time of year and that we like the most. So hopefully it shows in in what we're doing. But try them and see what you think, and if find a favorite or two, and they'll be around for at least a couple of months. So find one you like and smell like that for the next couple of months.
Nice. So one more question here, and then we'll get off of here. Nick wants to know what was your thoughts on naming your company? Where did that come from?
Oh, yeah. So
Ooh, potion
the
scent from
original.
Snape. Sorry, I had to see.
Oh,
Good.
the original name. This is why it's everything's a group effort here because I
Yeah.
don't do well on my own. The original name for this company was Dirty Hippie Beard Company, um, but I opted against that. So, Damn Yankee came because my wife is a native Texan and I am not. I was born in Chicago, well, north of Chicago, Des Plaines, Illinois, um, back about a million years ago. And so, even though I've lived here in Texas longer than she has, the fact that I'm not a native Texan leads her to call me a Yankee. So that's where that came from.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Nick wants to know, where do you see your company in 20 years? I have a feeling that's probably way too far down the line. Hopefully, Pete will be retired and living the good life somewhere.
Oh, I don't know. Oh, geez. I mean, 20 years, I'm going to be like 73. Um, yeah, as much as I love doing this, hopefully I'll be wrapped up by then. But I try to think a little bit shorter term. And that my benchmarks for success are kind of constantly moving. Okay, I will say this, and I've never told you this, Brian, but I don't really make a huge run for Instagram followers, but I've been at about 1,900 Instagram followers for probably a couple of years, and I would love to get over the 2,000 mark, and I've never done it. So that may be a goal for the rest of the year. But success to me is maybe a different than it is for other people. It's not necessarily monetary. If I never get rich doing this, that's okay. I want to make products that people enjoy, and that bring them some level of happiness. And uh, a lot of it is just that. I mean, life is too short, and the world is too stressful and crappy. So if this is something that I can do that makes somebody happy, then that's a win for me.
Yeah, and I can tell by the way the way you do your business and the sense that you create that it really is a labor of love, and you're not just bowing to whatever you think is going to get you the most sales and
Oh yeah, I
most
mean, don't
money.
get me wrong. I would love to get rich doing this, but if I
Yeah.
don't, it's okay.
Well, guys, we're going to end it here. Thank you guys so much for joining us, and please check out these scents. I think it's an awesome lineup of scents this year with the Midway and what else we have here? Bountiful, Tiramisu, Spirit Guide, 50 Shades of Earl Grey, plus all of the other scents and lines that Pete has. Make sure you check it all out. You can use code BANJO15 to save you 15%. And we'll be seeing you soon, guys. I am planning on doing a live stream every Sunday night. So I might be doing karaoke. I might be with a company doing a launch. Just to give you a little heads up, Sunday night, 7 o'clock, I will be on here with Voodoo Men's Craft. I'll have Alex on here. I think we're releasing some stuff, so that'll be cool. So hope to see you guys then. Pete, you hang on here. I'm going to turn this thing off while everybody else goes away. Thanks, guys. We'll talk to you later.